Group of friends sitting down talking about the world. Fake deep dick, leave me low. We
Fake
kind of
deep dicking.
John.
What's up, guys? You're
Doc.
Yo. What's up? Yo.
Myself, Eugene.
What's up, fake deep thinkers? Welcome to Fake Deep Thinking Podcast, where we talk about news and all that other crap. It's me, Eugene, my boy over here, Doc. We talk about news and politics. He wants me to say we talk about news, politics, and current events and all that good stuff. But we're here bringing you the funk that you've been waiting on. You hear me? We are here. We're not going to be here next week, I don't believe. I'm not sure if y'all decided if you wanted to do it or not.
I'm going to just wait for you to come back.
Okay, so we won't be live next week. Heads up.
Taking a little
Get
break.
it popping.
All right. Let's get into the Ukrainian drama. That's been the trending thing going on this week. So I don't know how to start this conversation. So I guess, what are y'all's opinion about it? Are you in support of it?
In support of what?
See, that's why, cause the conversations have been weird about it, because people have been on Russia sides and people have been saying that people are like, go Russia, like Putin this, Putin that. I've seen some of it. I don't know if that's really what's going on, or if people just like conflating the conversation. Say that again.
His last name being Putin is hilarious.
And then obviously the other side's like support Ukraine. You got all the flags coming out now. People with the colors trying to say they're supporting Ukraine.
Beautiful colors.
So that's why I was like,
I think. What's up, pimp?
What's up, Ethan? Good to see you last week, man.
I think people dying because of war. I always believe war is fought between politicians, but the actual war is fought between the people. Like, we're the ones who actually have to go to war. So any time we're being sent over or anybody's fighting war and I'm not so clear on the issue, to me it's a problem. I'm not saying it's a problem to interfere with. I just think it's wild that he's army, like he's giving guns to everybody who can shoot. Like, he's arming the country, fighting like there's an insertion. It's really going on right now while I'm alive. So, and we're not the people doing it. So,
and the crazy thing about that too, because it's a full on like invasion, exactly. And it's kind of interesting seeing some of the videos I saw on TikTok of it. Like, have you guys heard about the Ghost of Kiev?
Yeah. I actually don't know if he's
real.
He's real. Yeah. That's the thing. Like, this is the first time I've ever seen wartime propaganda. Like in
it's
real
been
time,
weird.
or like an invasion and stuff like that. At least old enough to like comprehend it and
fair.
Like, break it
Yeah.
down. Like, whether or not there was wartime propaganda during our invasion of Iraq and stuff like that, I was too young to really even be able to like break it down. You know what I mean? Let alone like have the attention span to put two and two together of like the histories and the reason why the politics are the way they are. And stuff
but is
like
this
that.
arrogant to say that some of those wars, like this is with Russia? This is Russia though.
What do you mean,
like,
though?
I guess power-wise, like actual threat. Like, for example, the recent war was what, Afghanistan, and not, I don't know if this is arrogant to say, but like, who's really scared of it? Like, who's really scared?
We were scared.
That's ignorant. I'm sorry.
No, we were scared. Remember?
Well,
those weapons of mass destruction out over there.
That's why we were trying to stop it, because they don't have it. They're trying to get it. Whereas Russia, they already have it, and he's already went on some kind of.
They had weapons of mass. We were told they had weapons of mass destruction.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
So we gotta go.
I think it's definitely easier. If anything, our positioning for like Afghanistan and stuff like that was way harder. Like, think about it. Like, you're completely displaced from the motherland and you're fighting a conflict for 20 years. Like, that's kind of weird. You know, it's kind of a bad call if you really think about it. But like Russia, like they just have to push up the border. You know what I mean? Like, military wise, I think it's a better decision. Whether or not ethically it's better, like that's I don't think it's ethically correct for them to have invaded the Ukraine. They have their own reasons for doing it, and they're just playing out whatever's happening.
Well, it's because Putin doesn't want Ukraine to be adopted into what is it, NATO?
Yeah, we basically.
Yeah, he doesn't want them to be in NATO. Although I think he's actually caused it to be, if things go the way.
I think he didn't cause it. I think he just pushed the time frame. Like, either you're going to accept them or not. If you're not, this is what I'm doing and this is what I want. And if you are, well, this is what I'm going to do and this is what I'm about.
Well, sort of. Like, he's definitely trying to stop that from happening. It's just it's really weird. Like I don't know if you guys have actually listened to him talk and give his side of the story, but he's using all the same plays that we did when we invaded Iraq. Like he's creating a threat, and he's telling his people that they need to go in and stop the threat, and so they're going in, and they're also playing it from the angle that they're can you guys hear that? I don't know. It's like a scratchy sound in the background.
No, I don't hear anything. Do you hear anything?
No, I'm good.
No, I'm good.
All right, it was coming from my my wires. As soon as I flicked it, it went away. Anyways,
Are you talking about the
um,
Republican place that he like I recognized or something like that? The little
yeah.
area.
Well,
What was it
the
called?
separatist region,
Yes,
the
yes, yes.
Donbass.
Boom.
So sort of, because for one, he's saying that like the separatist regions are separating because the Ukrainian government is corrupt. That they tried democracy, but they couldn't maintain it. Like everybody in there is corrupt, and that there's because of it a rise of neo-Nazism. He's not wrong
Yes.
about that. But whether or not it's like the extent that you have to invade the country to bring order to
Yes.
it, I don't know. That's like us invading Mexico to bring order because of the cartels,
Facts.
and that's a little wild, you know. So the Crimeans, they controlled it as separatist groups. Putin just pushed up the front line and then annexed Crimea. Hold up, my wires are messing up, so it's making me sound weird. And then there's another separatist region in the Donbass, and that's what he originally said he was going to move up the line to take in because he was like, "Oh, the people there are being genocide by these Nazi groups, and we need to push it up." His argument now that he's telling his people is that because they moved up and they took the Donbass, they're now in range of missiles from Kiev and Kharkiv, or I can't remember the second city's name, and that in turn requires them to push even further into it. But that's a lie because he had already pushed from the north from Belarus while he was pushing in from the Donbass at the same time. So he was already pushing forward for the capital. Now he's just giving his version and he's spinning it. And
Yeah.
it's like it's not a lie that they have missiles set up in Kiev, but it's to stop him from invading. But he's just showing them pictures of the missile sites and being like, look, now we're in range of these things and they could hurt our soldiers, so we have to go all the way. And it's just like, you motherfucker, like you just twisted that shit. So he's really doing it to keep them out of NATO and to build back the massive land that was the USSR.
He wants the
Um,
Russian Empire back.
yeah, yeah, in a weird way, he kind of does. I honestly can see the positioning issue for him because he's not wrong. Like, if NATO accepts Ukraine or even the EU accepts Ukraine, all you have to do is move missiles to the border of it, and it's only like a 5 mile, like a 5 minute launch site from the borders of Ukraine into Moscow. So, like, they'll always be under threat of danger. So I understand why he would do it at that point, but like the full on just like, like fuck it, we're just going in and we're just taking it, like that's heavy. And I think that depending on the way they calculate it, like I mean, who knows, man, like what the fuck, like if if Zelensky actually gets put into the European Union, that's war, like on like a full scale of like the entire European Union has to defend Ukraine against
Yeah, they're literally
a,
forcing Putin's hand. Like, if you don't pull back, you're going to trigger a world war. Like,
yeah, and that's the scary part, right? Like if they get into the European Union, then they have to fight all of Russia, all of the European Union has to defend their country, and we also have to go in because we have so many like roots set into the European Union now at this point, and then that's when that goes, and we have to see what Russia and their allies do. Like I don't know if they have Middle Eastern allies. Supposedly China is one of their allies, but they've been voting like differently than they expected throughout the entire like situation. Like during the condemnation of the invasion, China actually abstained from the vote. There's like an 11 council security of like 11 countries, and everyone expected China to vote with Russia, but they abstained, which was a little weird. And I think the reason they abstained is because they
look,
saw like a massive economic sanction that like is kind of unparalleled in like modern history. Like we've never just completely turned off the lights on like a country, you know what I mean? let alone a first world country like Russia. So and it kind of makes sense. Like China mass produces to
Yeah, what
the
else did they
West.
do? Was it a banning of the Swift banking system, or was there more to it than just that? That's what I know of.
Well, it's on top of that. Like I think China's afraid that they'll lose exports to the West, which is like they're a factory country. Like they're industrialized, and their main exports is basically our commodities. And if we just say no, then it's like holy shit! Like their entire economy has to change immediately. And
They're dependent on our consumerism, just like we're dependent on their
they're
industrialism.
yeah. And I don't think Russia expected to be cut out of the SWIFT system because they export energy and oil to those countries in the European Union, and to do it in the dead of winter is dangerous for people in those countries. So they kind of had the upper hand, but people are actually doing it. And Germany actually didn't even want to kick them out of the SWIFT system because they wanted oil to come in from Russia and to continuously, service them. Like they sell cars, dude. Like so they need that stuff.
Yeah,
But
all right.
then
Leave it
all
to
the other
Germany to vote that
European
way.
countries pressured them to kick them out of the SWIFT, and I think they just did it. I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, it was like a huge possibility. If they do that, it basically sends them back to like faxing and stuff like banking info or like doing paper stuff.
But wasn't there a proposed agreement that Georgia and Ukraine wouldn't be allowed to join NATO?
I have no idea. I honestly don't know the histories of NATO. I just know that like where the line is. It
Because
literally stops just before Ukraine.
from my understanding, there was agreement, and I could be wrong, but there was some sort of understanding that these two countries wouldn't join NATO because that would be seen as a direct threat to Russia, but they would be left alone otherwise. And since it kept seeming like they were ramping up them joining, I mean, Biden's son was on the goddamn power or whatever. You think he still
Burisma.
got a job in Ukraine? You think he employed
Oh
still?
yeah, he did. There's something like that. I
Yeah.
forgot
You know
about
what I'm
that
saying?
story.
So I don't know. To me, it seems like everybody's playing a role that's comfortable for them. Seems like we poke the bear a little bit, but just because we don't fuck with them, so we gonna poke the bear anyway. And I don't know. I just don't. Do y'all feel we should send troops?
See, that's what I'm about to get. That's why I want to open up the conversation about our opinion of the actual conflict itself with Russia and Ukraine, and then get to the fact that another side of the argument is there are some people who feel like America should, step in. That's why the whole NATO thing is interesting because if they get accepted to NATO, like we're gonna have to send troops, and we just got out of a war. We're technically right now finally in peace times.
But then the whole thing is too like I don't like anytime the media paints it good and bad, I'm very wary of it. And so the media just saying bad Russia, bad Russia, bad Russia just makes me feel like
It's
we're
it's
trying
one
to get away with some
perspective.
shit too.
Exactly.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
nobody's good.
Like we are trying to flex on Russia's borders.
Yeah,
Like
don't get it twisted.
Putin's not wrong technically, like what Doc was saying. Like I understand that piece of Putin, everything else not really, but from that angle, like if I just owned this patch of property and I was in conflict with the neighbor, and this guy's sitting there trying to low key encroach more and more for something, it's like, no, bro, what are you doing? Chill.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care if you can't afford it. I'm not
anything.
selling.
Mm-hmm.
Well, your son over here took up this patch. We had a conversation. I don't care what my son said.
At all.
That's honestly where Putin's maybe oversimplistic, but
Yeah, dude. Like it just even to try better.
And
It
that's
seemed like
in
we
that-
called him pussy and then said we bet you won't swing, and then goddamn he ended up swinging, and then we're like, oh shit, what y'all finna do?
and it comes down. It's the same. I feel like it's the same situation, or I would think it's the same situation as the whole China Uyghur thing. I feel like that's more of a moral imperative compared to this.
No,
It's not our
because
fight.
There's the same thing going on over there. The black people not allowed to leave the country.
We can bring that up now in the
Yeah.
conversation about how what was it,
And niggas
18 to
still
60?
found time to be racist. Mid-war. Nigga found time to be racist. Said, nah, Africans, Latinos, anything brown over there was not allowed to goddamn flee the scene. the same way other people were allowed to flee the scene. That's funny to me. I don't know how to put it. I'm not saying those people are being forced to fight or anything like that, but just interesting that the priority. But then the argument could be made that the priority is Ukrainian citizens. But you want
well, that's what Putin's actually saying. Like Putin's saying that he needs to save Ukraine from their corrupt democracy. And so like he even quotes in his like speech like the sins of decommunization and how like he's like look at their democracy, like they've been having civil war, which is true because of the separatist groups and stuff like that, and they've had the rise in neo-Nazism and stuff like that. And so he's saying I need to go in and save them from themselves, essentially.
Even though he
and
probably
this is
funded
propaganda, though.
even though he
Clearly,
probably funded all of it.
To me, like he said that, and I was like, I thought the same thing. I was like, fuck you, man. And then I was just like, wait, but he's literally taking a page from out of our playbook.
100%.
That was the same reasons we went into fucking Iraq. We had a threat, and we had to save them from themselves because they were under a dictatorship. And so
all of a sudden we cared.
Yeah, and they just went in, and we fucking decimated. We wiped out like tons of people. And I think the only reason why it wasn't as prominent in the world sphere is because it was a dictatorship. But this is like the first, like, well, I don't know if it's, I think it's like the first of like the larger democracies to be invaded. And so that's why, since most of the West is democratic, everyone's like offended and stuff by it. And the more I thought about it, I was like, it makes sense from their perspective where, communism is like the way to go. And so they're seeing like a sin. And so we're kind of in a philosophical and ethical conflict on that. So I don't really want to harp on that or say too much about that, because an American, I feel like it's not my place given my own history, So as far as like the whole NATO thing and the Ukrainian people suffering, though, that's something that needs to be addressed. And that's something that, like, because I think our roots are so deep into NATO and the EU, regardless of whether or not we should send troops and stuff, or if it's our conflict, I think we're obligated. And so we're still going to. I think Biden, though, is definitely trying to pump the brakes as much as possible, because there is also that sentiment that, like, this is a European problem and you still have to deal with it yourself. Like, because you have the whole thing of, like, Germany only donating, what, like 1% of its income to self-defense, while we were giving, like, 4 times that. And we don't even fucking have bases, or, like, we're not even, like, prominent there. And now that shit's actually hit the fan, that now they have to redirect all of their fucking stuff, and, like, they were expecting us to do all the work for them. So
boom,
it's kind of a messy situation.
Thank you, Ethan. Ethan said, I fought in Iraq. We did not have to go in that country. That was vendetta, not strategic. Both my cousins said the same thing. They said, man, anyway, they said, man, is out there fighting just to fight.
I don't know. Maybe it's just I don't want to say pacifist ways, but just I don't want to get involved in. Like, it's not our fight. I don't like. I understand we've dabbled and dooed a little bit.
But we would like to sell guns to whoever is interested. We do have guns for sale.
I don't think we can do that, though, man.
I'm sure we've been doing it.
Given the world sphere, I think we're just gonna pump Ukraine with guns. Yeah. And that's what we're currently doing. We're just pumping weapons into them before we send troops. I need
ammo, not a ride. Yo, first off, the Ukrainian president is winning all of this. He needs to start an IG. He would have the most followers on earth if he started an IG today. That man has literally become an icon overnight.
Well, he was already one, dude. He was a famous actor in their country.
But now I'm saying, like, it's transferring to the Western, like, dude, you're going to see, you remember how you see those pictures of Obama and it's like blue, orange, red, like the face.
It's mainly pictures because of him, like, out there in, like, gear, or is there other things going on?
He's doing the most. His PR team is behaving fantastic. He had his general, his chief of staff, his chief of staff, his secretary. He had everybody out there. Chief of staff. I don't know. I think I said it right and then second guessed myself. And came back to make sure. I don't know. But yeah, I just think it's not. I don't want to say cool to glorify it, but I'll put it like this: Biden not strapping up.
He's like a strap up.
Biden straight pussy. Let me put it like that. Because my
they'll
boy,
probably gear him up and he'll fall over, man.
Man, what?
Let's be honest.
He ain't gonna make it past the staircase, or those kids putting in the hairs down. under the pool because you know he has hairs. They turn blonde in the sun. And under the water, they like the rays. But the little kids, they used to go under the water, barely open their eyes in the chlorine while it burned, and put his leg hairs down, and watch him go up. I did that. Man, that's a fucking weirdo.
Yeah, I don't know what else to say about this. I just at the end, I don't think we should be involved, and it's just crazy what's going on. Because like I was saying with John before we even talked about this, like the reason, like I'm paying attention to this, like I care because depending how this goes, this could affect the whole world. But at the same time, like I don't care because like it's over there. Like I just don't think we should be getting involved. It's not our fight. I don't know what more to add there.
No, I mean I'm good too. I think any loss of life obviously is not cool. But to what ends do we like? How far do we take our support? Because we got people in what was it, Home Depot? You got people in Home Depot protesting
traps,
mouse traps.
I think specifically the glue ones or sticky ones or something like that.
What are you talking about?
There were people protesting inside Home Depot about Home Depot selling the glue mouse traps because you know it's torture for the mouse.
Oh, I was like, what does it have to do with Ukraine and Russia? Like, I was so
right now, those people are protesting that. That's what they're throwing all their support again behind.
You sure want to say how right now that's what's going on, and they decided to go to some random Home Depot and protest mouse traps. Saying how like Americans right now how we're privileged.
That's not fair either because they can probably protest Ukraine when they get home.
I think it's pretty important. I think that as like the countries, like we're doing everything we can without actually dropping boots. Like if we put boots in there that aren't like volunteer.
But what is that? What do you mean?
We ain't doing nothing.
Yeah, what do you mean? Yeah, like what do you mean?
We're cheering for you.
We've already sanctioned off like their economy, dude. Like
you mean okay.
Like the central bank can't pull its money from the U.S. Whatever's stored here, we're keeping. We're already like they're already trying to basically like strong arm the oligarch to pressure Putin to stop it. Because once the oligarch loses its money, then Putin has to rely on the state. And then the state money though, like Putin was smart. Like he set it up to where he has a war chest. Like he has money. He killed all of his debt. He made sure that like they could supply themselves for at least a few years before having to do anything. And so like he knew that like the sanctions were coming and he set up his state to where they could take it. So it's going to take more time, but I do think
that just means he's playing the long game. Really, that's not good.
Yeah. I do think though that it was super abrupt, like how much they took. I think he bet it to stay in the SWIFT. And so cutting out the SWIFT and then basically all the countries that have assets that are Russian, those are frozen completely within those nations. And so now they have to like live off that. And not only that, but we're not exporting tech into Russia. So whatever technology is there now, unless they develop it themselves,
they're there. They're not, that's where they are.
They're frozen.
Yeah.
To his point, I'm a Chelsea fan in England, and the team is owned by Roman Abramovich. He's a Russian oligarch, and very well off or whatever. And when this first started going on, when things started getting tense, he actually was forced. They took his green card from him.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and so he was forced to go stay in Russia and only support the team when they play Champions League away games in other countries. So he hasn't been able to watch the team in England for almost 2 years now. Last week, he gave up ownership of the team to a trustee board right before the first bomb went off because he didn't want the team to be taken
or negatively affected, or
yeah.
Literally, they were going to come and take the team from him. So he gave it to a board of trustees, which is comprised of English people and stuff like that. So literally, it's affecting like everything, like at the games.
The ripple effects, like that's why the point I was saying earlier, it might have been messed up to say, but this one's a little, I guess, more threatening would be the better word to use.
Yeah, I ain't like that.
Well, the crazy thing too is that
owner,
like you can't fly anymore from Russia to Europe. Like no Russian planes are allowed to land in European airports. So that's why the U.S. Embassy sent out that message that if you're an American in Russia, you have to get out now.
Yeah, that's
because there's probably a chance that you can't fly out of the country. If you do, you have to fly into China, and you know from China you can probably fly over here depending on like where you go and like I guess our temperament at the time. you might be able to go through the Middle East or to like India and stuff like that. But yeah, you're gonna have to take the long way if you're not going through the EU.
Yeah, that is pretty. I don't know. That's pretty.
Yeah, and to the effects of it, how it's more threatening is just like Ethan even mentioned, like it's affecting inflation and gas prices, like we were saying before the podcast. Like somewhere in California, I forgot where, $6 a gallon, bro.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of happy I bought a motorcycle before this.
Right?
When I saw it, I was like, oh, okay, I can live off of like $10 for a good while.
$20 every 3 weeks. I'm good.
Yeah. I was like, sweet, okay, I'm okay. Shit.
Yo, I thought the same thing. That's funny. I was like, man, thank God I got my motorcycle.
Go back to Africa and get the gas, get the oil. Go and negotiate there, please.
And like Ethan said, I agree. It's also a convenient excuse for Biden.
Oh yeah.
The Ukrainian conflict, you know, it's not my fault.
Man, he don't even need no excuse no more. Anyway, can we move to the next topic? Because I don't want to seem like we're just sitting here
Hating or sounding dumb. What's a good transition from this? I guess let's go to LeBron wants to play with his son.
Oh, okay.
Something a little more wholesome, I guess.
Yeah. So
Away from all this war.
We might not get to, man.
You can just type in LeBron wants to play with his son if you want to.
So
Doc, Ethan wants to know if you're wearing nail polish.
Yeah. My friend, she painted my nails.
Put them in the camera. Let me see this.
They're just black, bro.
Like his heart.
Yeah.
Doc doesn't have a black heart. That's funny. Doc's exterior may be black, but the inside Doc's a bunch of flowers. We're fighting depression.
My heart is broken, and I'm fighting depression.
So give us the
just
rundown
type
on
in
LeBron thing. I don't know for him to search.
So basically, during All-Star, I was gonna tell him just type in LeBron wants to play with his son. During All-Star weekend, basically he was interviewed. He was asked about if he thinks his tenure is gonna last with the Lakers, if he's gonna stay there, retire there, or whatever. And LeBron was pretty he's upset with the Lakers right now because there's been some misinformation put out or whatever about how the team was constructed and whose fault it is, but that's beside the point. So he was trying to take a jab at the team, and he lets it be known. He says, no, I could definitely see myself playing in Cleveland again. And he says, but my plan is he said my last year will be played with my son. He said, and anything I can do, wherever Bronny is at, I'll be at, and whatever I can do to get there, I'll do it. So the question was, a lot of people were asking, and oh, by the way, LeBron's son is not seen as that great of a player. I think he's ranked 43 in his class. So that's late second round at best. So you know what I'm saying? That's not to count for sleepers, kids that go to small schools that might sneak up in the draft above him. So he might go undrafted if he was a one and done. So a lot of people are saying, okay, now if I'm a team in the lottery and I don't have the top 5 draft pick, but maybe I have the 10th pick or the 7th pick. Might I go and get Bronny just so I can sign LeBron James? And is that fair? Because there's going to be at least one player, if he was going to go undrafted, that goes undrafted because he went drafted. Or to that point, if he goes higher in the draft than he would need to, the pay scale for every player after him is now changed because they go a draft one spot lower.
That's a big slap in the face with the whole meritocracy thing that we believe in.
So what do y'all think do y'all think it was his intention to leverage getting his son into the NBA like for sure, or do you think it was just him simply stating
it was leverage.
It's a goal of mine to play with my son? And
I'm sure it's okay to have my question is, how did he vocalize that goal? Like, where was it?
All-Star weekend.
So I think that's understanding the environment and place and the eyes that are on this.
All-Star weekend was also held in Cleveland. Yeah.
So that might have been allowed. This is what I want. This is probably where I want. You're all listening?
Yeah, no, he definitely did it on purpose. I don't think LeBron's
that's where I'm coming. I think it was.
Yeah, LeBron's too calculated. He definitely did it on purpose. But okay, so how do y'all feel about that? How do y'all feel about like the nepotism, like the?
Well, it's definitely nepotism. It's
definitely
that they call him the king.
I mean, if it was me, I'm not gonna lie. Like, why not? Last time we talked about something like this, we were joking about this. I was like, of course I would want to play with my son. I feel like that's every dad's dream to. Even the sons want to play with their dad, especially if you're the greatest. Like, that's also a great experience. Not only was I raised by this man, now I get to play with this man. It's an experience that a lot of people probably dream of having, so it can help them in their one career and two skills. It's just, I guess the problem is,
correct.
He doesn't have the merit. Because if he was good, this probably would have exactly
needed to say
exactly. But 100%. The fact that he's, what'd you say, what rank?
43 in his grade. He's not even the best player on his high school team. Like, that's 40 just in his grade.
Wait, how old is he again?
He's 16.
17, it says 17? Right here.
He just turned 17.
Oh, 17.
Oh, yeah,
what if he just goes to college instead of signing directly out of high school? Just goes to college to prove himself.
He's definitely going to college.
Okay.
He has to go to college.
He's just a little bit. I don't know if that's early. I guess 4 years. I guess
so
you can say a little seed.
1 more year, 18.
Maybe 2.
If he plays a college year. But the thing is, the way it looks right now, he won't be ready after 1 year. So does he now?
2 years?
LeBron putting pressure on his son to rush out of college to catch him? Because 2 years, we're talking about LeBron playing in the league for 21 years at that point. 21 years.
What's the max? The most anyone's ever played in the league?
I think it's 21 or 22.
Okay.
It's Carter, who just retired. I don't see nobody. And LeBron's averaging 28 points a game at 37. So,
and he could take a different role though that we can make him last longer. Instead of being more of the active guy, like I'm here for my son. I'm making him the active guy. So he takes supporting lead with him.
What about the players on the team? And if he's active guy, why is Bronny taking shots?
As an owner, is that something you risk though?
Yes. Let me tell you why. LeBron increases the economy. This is not figuratively. He literally increases the economy of every place he goes by 400%.
The financial incentive, especially of the father-son duo, you can definitely sell that and market that. That's a story.
When he left Cleveland,
dynasty.
Do you know how bad the town? Like they lost hundreds of millions. The city, nobody wanted to do anything in Cleveland. There's no LeBron. He carries so much weight when he moves to your town. So like, and yeah, if he's drafted higher, he would get a better contract. So like I said, it would affect everybody's contract after him. So I don't know. I don't mind it. I'm gonna be honest with you. The real reason I don't mind it is because literally every father in any other position of power anywhere else
does the same thing.
And
does the same thing.
Like even at my company, the owner's son works. He's not probably the best, the most intelligent or the most well trained or the most experienced, but he's still. You know what I'm saying? The owner's son. So he comes in with his suit and he
got privileges.
He got his chest out. So
or maybe not privileges. He just got that skip.
Yeah. There you go. So that the entitlement. So I can't be mad at it. I just can't be mad at it. Generationally, I can't be mad at it. I think it's more funny if he sucks and then he ends up playing and then like, do you know what the fans will do?
But is that wrong then? Because some people will probably be like, I can't wait for this to play out because either one side is for the next greatest of all time. Like this could honestly be really cool to watch. Like literally, like I was saying in Dynasty, straight up, like LeBron that teaches son, the son that takes over. That'd be kind of cool story. And then there's other side where it's like, I want to see the failure.
Yeah, but I mean,
because it'd be funny. Like,
it'd be
forgive me, God forgive me, but that would be funny.
I know it's bad. It'd be hilarious, but in every other field, you would be able to cover up the son's flaws. Here,
you can't.
And
he's got to perform.
Question: do y'all think he spoke with his son before saying this?
I'm gonna assume he's a good father, so yes. And I don't know if that's biasing me to say or whatever.
He should
that would be the case though.
Barred from playing on the same team as his son. This is just straight coercion and nepotism. If this were a white guy doing this, the NBA would be sued. Okay, Ethan, I'm gonna have to bite back on you there. First off, regardless of race, white guys do it all the time in corporate settings. They do it all the time in the NFL settings when you're talking about coaching trees, when you're talking about GM roles, when you're talking about a lot of these things, a lot of nepotism. If you're talking about the 49ers, the coach is Mike Shanahan. His father, Shanahan, was the coach for the Ravens as well. His dad doesn't actually officially have a job there. How do you think he got his first job? He was a coach under his dad.
What about the Cowboys?
Boom, Mike McCarthy. I mean, why can't I think of his name? Jerry Jones and Steve Jones.
Maybe I don't remember honestly.
Whatever his son's name is.
Yeah.
His son's a GM. His son's making football decisions. So it happens everywhere. I just don't think we can be more critical of him doing it than other people doing it because it just happens everywhere.
I hope though, like he's like a real dad
Yeah,
about it
Stephen
though,
Steven. Yeah.
and he's just like, hey, like if you actually want to do this, you have to fucking earn it. Like I climbed up here, I'm not gonna just fucking make you a fast pass.
You
I
said
mean,
what?
He's like,
he
if
kind of
he's
is making
real
a
about
fast
it-
pass a little bit.
But that's
His
the
leverage
thing,
and
like-
influence is technically a fast
Yeah.
pass.
So he shouldn't do it.
I'm on the side he shouldn't, as if the reason for him doing is it just to create a fast pass or just to fucking make a hallmark moment. Like for that, I think for that moment to actually have weight and hold water, I would put it in front of like my kid and be like,
The only
"Yo,
ever
you
time,
guys-
the
So
only
I
other
got-
time this ever happened is in MLB. Ken Griffey Jr.
I
and
gotta
Ken
take-
Griffey Sr. played together.
I gotta take. Let me know if this is dramatic, extreme. I don't know,
Mhm.
but would it be wrong to say if LeBron doesn't see the pressure this puts on his son from making
Boom.
this statement so public,
Boom.
wouldn't this be extremely naive of LeBron then?
I think.
yeah,
so.
yeah." It would
I agree with
be
that.
terrible of him, man.
But-
Because then, if his kid comes in and he fucking sucks, then
But
LeBron
I'll
So
say
he had to
this.
have talked. That's why, like the
That's
point,
That's
the
why-
question you
that's
asked.
boom. Yeah, that's right. Because if anything we can say
Hold
about
on,
LeBron,
Doc, what were you saying?
oh, I just finished my thought that like if he sucks, like his name is on the line, and there's just a lot of issues with it.
Yeah,
if anything we know about LeBron, forget his politics or whatever. Dude's a good dad. Dude's a
that's
great
why I try to
dad.
live with that.
Yeah,
Like
dude's
I
a
don't even want to
great
assume
dad,
anyone's a
so-
bad parent unless
yeah,
otherwise, and
so
I have
I don't
nothing to
think-
say. So I have to assume he's a great dad.
I don't think he. But see, but do you know what question's gonna be asked at the interview? Like this wasn't this wasn't like
Invasive,
a,
like,
a
probing
sit down
questions.
interview. This was like a hey LeBron.
To LeBron or the son, because I think the son's gonna get interviewed also.
100%.
He's going to college.
When LeBron said it, it was like a.
I think this affects his collegiate career too, potentially. Like, there's a lot. Like,
There's a lot, dude.
there's a lot.
So is it okay to do this if you're not white? No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying is it okay to do it at all because everybody
Yeah, exactly.
does it.
I was about to say that's not the point. Is not that the fact that he's black. The point is that this is like you said, and I agree with this. We all said this too. Nepotism.
100%.
And I guess the question is, at the end of the day, to narrow it down, is nepotism good or bad?
So should the son of my owner, the owner of my I said my owner, God forbid, the owner of my company, should he be fired because he's not the best employee?
I mean, if they have a standard, like if you're not meeting a certain standard, you're supposed to get fired. Yeah, he should be fired. But if he's like just floating above the line, just annoying people that he's floating above the line, he has his position. Well, I mean, that sucks. But
But the father can see it as I'm grooming him.
exactly.
So that's what I'm saying. We can't say
The only time I think it's wrong is when the son clearly like just doesn't have the merit for it. Like even in the merit, like you still at the end of the day, it's a meritocracy. You still have to prove yourself. The only issue is when you're not allowing them or publicizing their merits. Like in a company, like you said earlier, it's easier to hide that stuff.
correct. I completely agree.
That's why they get away with it. Whereas with this is different. This NBA, this requires you to actually perform. You got to be able to make these shots, make these blocks, make these steals, get like you and last those entire minutes throughout the entire game. Like you got to be able to do it.
And
if he's not
to,
like
to his son's credit, I mean, even if he's not the best player or the highest ranked player, he's still training every day, still working out, he's still pursuing it with as much as he can. So
you
like,
can't say it's not LeBron's dream. It's also the son's dream.
it's the son's dream. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's where we're stuck at, Ethan. Is it okay? And sometimes something isn't okay to do.
Hold
but
on.
if
He
every-
complains about this happening, then turns around and does it. How is that okay? So your issue, it just seems like
That's what I was
isn't
answering.
necessarily nepotism, but more so what the contradiction. Like, has LeBron come out and said something where he's against this, like other people doing that?
I've heard him come out and speak about the lack of African American coaches in the NFL.
Okay.
So he said that's not a meritocracy. So what Ethan's pointing out is he's saying that he complains about that not being a meritocracy, and then uses
Does this-
coercion to basically give a nudge to.
I mean,
what it
that's
is.
fair.
But this is
But I
another
guess
thing.
okay.
This is another thing. He said his last year will be played with his son. Who knows what LeBron's going to play like on his last year? LeBron might not be the box office attraction
He didn't say he wants to play a full. Like, he just says his last year.
when
Like, I'm not leaving the NFL at least with saying I played with my son.
That can be.
That's pretty cool. Dope,
4
though.
years though, when LeBron's not even a good player anymore. You know what I'm
He's
saying?
not averaging those shots anymore.
Exactly. So there's no way we can just. This isn't as definite as far as like me just saying my son is the GM. That's it. Son's the GM. You know what I'm saying? I mean, hey man, look. All he did was, you call it coercion. Now I'm even further away from that. You call it coercion. He incentivized his son being picked.
Yeah.
He did not.
But
tell
you could
to go
argue
pick
it's a
his
level
son.
of coercion in a
No.
way.
He presented you with information. I want to play with my son.
But the reason why I see it, I'm gonna try to make this argument because I agree with you. I think it's an incentive more so than coercion. But you could make the argument. I'm gonna try here because, like you said, when LeBron moves somewhere, the economy is affected.
Boosted immediately.
So no matter what, LeBron is gonna get signed somewhere. He's guaranteed a job.
Correct.
And a bountiful career and effect on the economy with his career, no matter what.
Except if he sucks.
I'm talking about LeBron specifically still.
No,
now we get
know.
to the
I'm
Sun.
saying if he sucks, nobody's gonna go watch the game. When Jordan played for the Wizards, those seats were not full. So LeBron has to be LeBron still.
But was Michael Jordan so bad when he was with the Wizards?
He averaged 20, but he wasn't Jordan. It wasn't winning games.
But that was different because Jordan, it's Jordan the Bulls. Whereas
Yeah.
LeBron, it's not Jordan the Lakers, Jordan Cleveland, Jordan in Miami. It's just or not Jordan. I'm sorry,
that
LeBron.
point, since
It's
we're
just
actually talking
LeBron.
sports here.
Fair.
I'm not gonna. I have to. I hate defending LeBron, but I have to say this: what LeBron has done for the NBA, what Jordan did for marketing and PR work and branding, will never be seen again. Correct? What LeBron has done for the NBA will never ever be done again. Do you hear me? He went to Cleveland, a small city market, boosted their economy, left, went to Miami, right? Marquee in the NBA, gave them a ring, right? So he made a small market team relevant that wasn't relevant at all. So now the city's pumping money because TV rights, media rights, and all that stuff, hosting events, everything. Okay, now he goes to Miami, a marquee place, wins 2 rings, boosts them back up, goes to Cleveland, gives them a ring, fixes their economy again, or boosts their economy again, then goes to the Lakers, who haven't been in the playoffs for 6 seasons prior to him going, gives them a ring. Now the Lakers are back, the most popular team in the NBA. Every day we're talking about the Lakers.
Upsetting, I'm not gonna lie.
So as far as what people look at it like, oh, he's hopping. This man's literally, if you're looking at it from if you're Adam Silver, the GM of the commissioner, this man is literally going to places that will boost the NBA's reputation, and he's going there and
he's growing the NBA.
Growing the NBA.
Yeah.
So as far as like us being critical of stuff like that, sometimes maybe he's earned it. Maybe he's earned the right to say my son could. Can any of us see LeBron not being?
I'm not saying it's bad or good. I'm just saying, like, I agree with you. The effect he has, which is why it's a level of coercion.
No, because another person would argue the same thing.
That way, though.
Say that, Doc.
I mean, behind closed doors, you can leverage that. Like, you can just say, like, "Well, look what I do for this city."
Boom.
Like, and at that point, it's coercion.
Why? Did you lie? Why is it coercion if I gave you a fact?
Just utilizing that against me.
No, I didn't.
You're
I gave you more information to make your decision with.
But
that might benefit you more so than me, which
so
comes today as look up the definition of coercion real quick.
So would you have preferred not being informed?
I mean, I think coercion can be informed or uninformed.
Yeah, like, as long as you're offering something, like, you could technically coerce people into making a decision in your direction if you're offering them things. You know what I mean?
He didn't offer anything. He said he wants to play with his son.
Well, that's what we're saying. There's a possibility.
It's their greed. But that's not coercion. So my problem with that is it coercion if the only thing that I'm appealing to you is your greed?
Hold on. Coercion, the practice of pursuing someone to do something by using force or threats.
Happening here.
Okay,
not happening. You're both wrong. He didn't coerce anybody.
Similar force, compulsion.
He could threaten to take his economic value with him wherever
nope.
he goes.
Another thing about LeBron. Let me say another fact about LeBron that people always get wrong. He moved from team to team, but guess what he did every single time? Finished his contract. LeBron has never been traded. LeBron's never forced his way out of a team. LeBron has always finished his contract and went to the next place for free. Finished his whole contract. Never left a day early, a minute early. Every contract he's seen through. KD didn't. Kyrie didn't. Steph Curry didn't. Oh, Steph Curry did. Obviously, he's been on the same team. But all these other guys didn't. Kawhi didn't.
Coercion, though. We're claiming that there's a possibility for him to be able to coerce people.
Like you said, he may not be the best player in the league, but his fan base alone will fill arenas just to see him play with his son.
Yes and no. How many games are in an NBA season? 70-something. By game 10, if y'all is not playing good, I'm not going to go watch.
But if they're playing good you'll be able to say, I watched LeBron and his son play in the NBA.
Then you're saying his son is good. So we're back to meritocracy. His son deserved it.
Well, it comes back to the point I made. Like, it comes down to people betting on either son being good and being able to witness probably how they would word it, the greatest duo, father-son dynamic, blah, blah, blah. Okay, boom. That could be crazy marketed. And the financial gain from that marketing potential idea.
So that's coercion.
It's crazy. Then the other side.
No, because you're doing the math in your head and saying, I can make this much money off of this opportunity. And me just letting you know I want to play with my son.
The whole point,
on y'all.
But the point is, comes down, LeBron's not dumb and people aren't dumb.
Yeah,
and
he's not dumb. So you're acute.
And LeBron has inside knowledge knowing, like.
No, that's not inside knowledge. His contract would be up.
I was saying relationship with his son. The reason why it's coercion because he knows whether or not his son's going to be good or bad, depending on, I would assume, if that's his son's goal. I don't know if it's wrong of me to say, you'd be dumb not to seek your dad's advice.
So my question is, so what part of it is on the team that says I want to pick Bronny because I'll get LeBron?
That's why we're saying like it depends on the kid's ability.
So if the opportunity of coercion exists, does that mean because there's opportunities for coercion everywhere then? So like just because the opportunity exists does not make it coercion. Is
fair.
What I'm saying.
At that point I agree because it's not a threat, but it's definitely there.
But
the possibility.
And he's still stating, I want to play with my son in my final year. He didn't say multiple years.
Just planted the seed is all.
Sure, he did. He gave you information. What you do with it. Now, if you want LeBron or you don't want LeBron, you're not gonna draft his son. He just told you he wants to play with his son. Everybody's saying, "Oh, LeBron's not dumb." Because
obviously,
he's
as
not
of right
dumb.
now, it's not coercion. But the thing is, once it becomes like whether or not his son is good or not, if he goes to college, depending on how he performs in college, but once it's real, once it's finally real, he is now in the draft.
Yes.
He is registered name in the draft. You're right. We're going hypotheticals here. We generally don't know,
Correct.
and we are leaning on heavily on the notion that if he's good, you could definitely leverage the level of coercion like. It's LeBron, me. You guys know me. Look at my stats. Look at my dynasty I've created. And now look at my son. What we can do. What are you saying, Doc?
That's eliminated because he said it.
If he's good, he's just gonna get drafted. They're gonna be like, "Fuck yeah! Why don't we want this good kid and his dad? Like, he's just gonna get picked." I think if he's bad, that's when LeBron's gonna have to start rubbing some elbows to be like.
That's the thing.
We'll see.
LeBron won't have to rub any elbows. Reason why it won't be coercion. You want to know why? Because he said it in 2022. His contract's not up for another year. He won't be a free agent until 2024. He won't have to say anything in 2024. He said it in 2022. You know what to do if you want me.
It depends on what the future looks like. I mean, if the kid genuinely isn't as good as, say, the other picks, but somehow he makes it into the team with his dad, it'll be obvious to everybody to be like, wow, he really wasn't as good as the other option that they had.
And it's going to be harder for him.
Everyone will know why he made it in. And that's where I'm saying, like, the nepotism will really show.
Yeah.
And it'll even show in game if he just can't perform, you know what I mean? And, like, they just start losing it or whatever happens. And, like, the coach will be like, wow, like, I'm just playing him because his dad.
LeBron,
like,
yeah.
Boom.
I
Could
bench him and put in another player.
First off, I don't think the son will get playing time just because his father was on is LeBron. That's not going to happen.
Playtime could be a stream. I can see that.
LeBron's been signing.
Just more so the pick, just the opportunity itself.
Boom. LeBron's not going to dictate anything in his final year in the NBA as far as what you're playing, your rotation, or whatever it is. You're going to play what you're trying to win. Regardless of it's a game of basketball. You're trying to win. If his son's good, his son's going to be good. But if his son sucks and he still gets drafted, that's on the NBA teams. LeBron said he wanted to play with his son.
I mean, it depends.
If his son doesn't get drafted, guess who doesn't get to play with his son?
He says. You think he's not going to say anything the entire time?
Exactly. And if his son's playing basketball, of course they're going to ask him. Now, if his son doesn't get drafted, guess what? If his son goes overseas, guess where LeBron's going? Overseas. That's why. That's not coercion. He said he want to play basketball with his son. Did he say where? It could be on a mountaintop in Chengfu, China.
Obviously, it was coercion. It just failed.
Like he can go to Spanish. He can be the G League. If his son gets accepted to the G League, LeBron will drop to the G League.
That's a real
for
father,
a year
though, to be honest
and play
with you.
with. So my point is, you know how much pressure it'd be from the son's point of view to be on that bench. Doc Rivers and his son. Doc Rivers coached his son. Doc Rivers' team drafted his son, and then he coached him for his first 7-8 years.
Point. That's actually a very valid point. Wow.
And Austin Rivers is still in the NBA, and he had to prove himself.
There was an issue with that either
again.
at the time, was there?
Yes.
There was?
People were upset because they felt he's just drafted. But Austin Rivers has dropped 40 before. Austin Rivers can play. So, but he's just his father. So he had to trade him. Mm-hmm. Give his son a chance to on his own too. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's what I would hope that he puts out in front of his kid. Where he's just
that's
like,
real nepotism. He's in charge of who gets drafted as the head coach. You have input on that. LeBron doesn't have input on who a random team drafts.
I don't know, man. You just said he's able to fucking shift the financial tectonic plates of a city.
Yeah, that's around him. Because LeBron comes to – see, this is all I'm saying. These are all factors that LeBron brings. Him knowing that he brings these factors has nothing to do with your decision. Your decision as a business person is whether you want to interact or any of these factors are worth it for you. He's telling you, this is what I come with. I'm going to go be where my son is. Now, it's your sneaky ass that's saying, I'm just going to draft him to the Bulls. I'm just going to draft him to the – yeah, fuck you. I'm going to draft him first. How about you? How about that?
But he knows there's going to be some competition going on.
There's going to be competition. Yeah, but
it's
a product.
I get what you're trying to say.
It's a product. He's a product. He's an employee.
His kid. Just like, we're going to draft him, and he doesn't get to play with his son just to be a dick.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he literally is an employee of the NBA. So leverage, maybe.
Yo, but he's employee of the month, bro.
Every month. Every month he's employee of the month. But yeah, I don't know. I kind of faded towards I actually don't care. I just don't want to call it coercion. That was my point. I don't like the
point of contention.
Yeah, I don't like the word coercion because it's
like
not
10
coercion
minutes.
when it's not coercion when it's applied to other places.
You're right.
I think
after
right now
that,
it's definitely not coercion. But I think once his kid's up and like if there's a possibility for
we're gonna be watching to see.
Yeah, because there's a possibility for it then.
Yeah,
and
that's what we're
when the nepotism will
and
show.
We'll know. And this is my point. I do agree. We'll know, and it will happen. Trust me, it will happen because there's always back chatter and all these sports type of things. We'll know because the report will come out who wants to draft Bronny before. And if that comes out, then we'll know.
All right, let's get out of this. We talked about this for almost 30 minutes also.
Hey, we got a lot more.
Because Ian started the timer a little late, so I'm not sure if that's correct. Anyway, shout out to Angel Blinds.
Angels.
You gonna start singing in the background again?
No, I'm just playing. It's not Black History Month anymore. We good.
This guy. This podcast is sponsored by Angel Blinds, a local Atlanta, Georgia area small business. Their blinds help you get a new look for your living room, to your bedroom, to your dining room. They even have custom kids blinds with their favorite superhero or princess.
You can put Bronny or LeBron on there.
Oh my gosh. With our promo code FTT, our audience gets 10% off their first purchase. You can find them on Facebook, Angel Blinds, or Instagram, Angel_Blinds. Check them out. I'm for our new script. That's already getting
We're gonna make all the Angel Blinds drops. We're gonna make them all episode friendly. So whatever we talked about in the episode, going on them blinds.
This guy.
And Ethan, we're gonna put you right here.
He's gonna get mad. Let's transition to the Tinder swindler. I think. Kind of want to get into that last week because I just think this is such a funny conversation. I think it's probably a good way to like start coming down off.
I think that name is funny.
It's a great marketed name for sure.
Tinder swindler.
Yeah, that's the name of the Netflix show or documentary about this whole situation. So let me give a quick rundown. So we have this Simon Lviv. He's 32. He is Israeli. Yep,
Ooh,
Israeli.
I'm good.
Well, his real name is Shimon Hayot.
Shimon. You said what is his name?
Shimon. S-H-I-M-O-N. Shimon Hayot.
Shimon. My boy.
This guy.
He said, "Come on with them ducats."
So, basically, to summarize it, is he would utilize dating apps. I don't know if it was mainly Tinder or just a combination of dating apps, but he would utilize Tinder to date certain women, obviously women who are, I would assume, had some level of access to money, and get them to give him money, and he utilized that money to date other girls, and he created a little bit of a
system.
Boom. Thank you. I was waiting for the proper. Thank for the assist.
A system is what I'm hearing.
Yep. And he eventually got caught. Spent about. Well, first let me tell you his backstory. This is what his little spiel is shtick.
Tell us about the Israeli Kevin
So
Samuels.
he posed as a billionaire diamond heir, and he apparently right here conned women out of millions, estimated 7.4 million, and I think that was in pounds, which is crazy. And from all this, he ended up going to prison in the Finnish prison in 2015 for 2 years. Then in 2019, went to the Israeli. Well, he was sentenced for 50 months, but then only served 5 for good behavior. And then documentary came out, and he's trying to say, well, I just said right here in this passage, I was just a single guy that wanted to meet some girls on Tinder. Simon Levy, whose real name is Shimon Hayut, told Inside Edition in a to-be-aired interview, I am not a Tinder swindler. So he's trying to say, I think somewhere along this lines too, he says, I'm not sure where, that he's actually a gentleman.
He's a goat.
Like I'm a businessman or something like that. And he's actually got an agent, and he's trying to pursue some kind of career in Hollywood now.
That does not
after
say free
this.
Spirits. Yeah, he's a goat. I ain't gonna cap you down. Yeah, he's just a single guy. He's just a baby boy. What are we bothering this guy for? Can't believe this is a thing. Cause look, there's a Netflix documentary about the female version of him, the German girl. That's the Russian girl.
That's the conversation. I don't say the internet, but at least on some of the side of the stuff I watch on YouTube, the conversation is like, if this was a girl, or this goes on a lot amongst guys, why is it now a guy doing this to a girl? Is this suddenly a big issue?
Because he's an innocent baby boy just trying to find love. If y'all give him gifts while he's trying to find love, that's on y'all. But he's just trying to find love. Look at him.
Because
yeah.
Well, here, this is actually kind of funny. You said
dropping the how-to.
Because if you actually watch the documentary, I could be wrong here. One of the things he would do is he was dating this girl. I don't know how long. I don't know if it was a few, like 6 months or a few years or something like that. But he was dating a girl, and they went apartment hunting.
Okay.
And the very next day, or I don't know if it was the next day or days later, but after they did apartment hunting, he would then message her saying, I'm in some kind of trouble. I don't know, jail. I don't know what he would say, but some kind of trouble to the point where he couldn't access his funds. And he needed the girl to send him money for reasons.
A kite. Mm-hmm.
He got women to take out loans to help him.
Damn. Did he get put on
they
any
all did
wills?
it under the premise that like he would pay them back, right?
Because, well, I'm assuming that conversation happened because obviously he's not a diamond heir billionaire, but because the women assumed he was a diamond billionaire heir, that he would pay them back.
Is he? Never mind. Whew.
How did he convince them? I haven't seen the documentary, so I don't know for sure.
Because he utilized this money he was getting from women to fund
the con.
I don't know, maybe. But yeah, exactly.
Like
it's like he would fund lifestyle. He would use
them,
women
like,
to get like private planes and take pictures. Like his Instagram, I should probably put up his
like
Instagram.
he had to like show
he
them
flexed
things
a
that they
lifestyle.
didn't believe.
So basically, hoes just mad. You want to end it right there? I think we summed up the. I'm just saying.
Hot take right there.
No, I ain't gonna lie to you, dude. Hey, man. Anytime an anomaly, a glitch in the system happens, hey, you just gotta watch it. There's a glitch in the system. He the glitch.
Is it wrong to say this is funny?
It's hilarious. This is more than funny. This is deeper than that. This is hilarious. Look at him.
The guy just didn't want to pay for drinks, man.
Man, what? All off swiping?
Trying to get her to buy him his drink.
He got tired of pursuing. He wanted to be pursued.
Yeah.
That is convinced. Man, pay rent, buy a car, or buy. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So wait. So the problem is paying back. Yeah, okay, I'm caught up. I was about to say the problem is he's broke or what?
No, the problem is he basically
can't pay him
stole
back.
his money and he's not paying his woman back.
He probably has. They probably have proof
like
that he
the
said he would
funding.
pay him back too.
Maybe.
Oh,
Is that
my
leverage
boy.
though in the
He
legal
fucked up.
system? Is that a commitment or I don't know how?
I'm trying to tell you,
like a contract. There you go.
He really should have started rapping.
He should have put a career, probably an acting career from this. Scroll down a little bit more, Ian. What did he say?
Look at my boy. Great Gatsby.
He didn't buy any of it.
But the alleged scammer who has since signed a Hollywood agent appeared with a new gal pal in the interview saying, "I'm the biggest gentleman in the world." Okay,
correct.
That was the gentleman thing. Okay, so
look at him.
I think that's all I said about his pursuit. But
look at him. He looks like Scott Disick.
Yo, he actually, that's wild you said that. I'm mad you said it and looked at me and then waited. That was, you son of a bitch. Wow.
Yeah, my boy, live your life to the fullest.
The new Scott Disick personality.
To the fullest. Yes.
He's going to get his own reality show.
What do girls say? Yes, king. Yes. This nigga right here is breaking boundaries. The white Kevin Samuels or the Jewish Kevin Samuels.
I think it's wild. He's got to scroll back down again, Ian. I don't remember that. He has another girlfriend.
Why wouldn't he?
A new gal pal.
Why wouldn't he?
Really?
Why wouldn't he? Hey, let me tell you something.
I would not risk it with this guy.
Damn, I don't want to. Taylor typed it wrong.
That's insane.
Okay, type in on a new tab.
I would assume, and I guess I'm dumb for assuming this, that he would be no-go territory when it comes to dating.
Type in on a new tab, Jail Bay dates jail BAE. Or whatever, I think jail, yeah, BAE, dates billionaire, heiress, or billionaire. Boom. Jeremy Prison Bay knocks up billionaire girlfriend. This man was found because of his mugshot, and women thought he was beautiful because of his mugshot. So they called him Prison Bay. A billionaire heiress went and found him and said, what Ethan just typed.
She could fix him.
That is correct. And now he knocked her up, shooting them winning shots. That's what I'm talking about. Anytime I shoot, it goes in. But this is
funny because it's like guys don't usually, this doesn't usually happen to guys. Like, for example, the LeBron story with the girl. It's opportunity,
baby. It's all opportunity, baby. We haven't had the opportunity. Yes, the snake.
Nah, dude. Like, honestly,
trying to win.
After I saw the fucking... that murderer, I think it's like Jeffrey Dahmer or some shit like that. Like, there is a following of women that are obsessed with him. After I saw that shit, that's when I was just like, nah. Like, as soon as you get famous enough, like, it doesn't even fucking matter.
Oh, nigga got a Netflix special. He not Dave Chappelle.
That's a whole different conversation now, because that's weird. Because I don't disagree with y'all. Because I think, maybe...
revolutionary. Groundbreaking. Those are the words we should use when we're talking about this man.
Is it a level of fame, status, notoriety? Like, what does it come down to? Like,
it's a level
as long
of genius,
as you have
level of ingenuity, and level of creativity. You get what I'm saying?
I'm hoping more on the Jeffrey Dahmer thing. That's kind of wild. So I'll just let you know.
I'm talking about my boy.
I know you're talking about him, but the comments
I'm talking about the biggest gentleman in the world.
I think it's that guy. I can't remember. I remember it was some like fucking murderer in the U.S. that like women love, and they like fucking hang out at his grave or some shit like that.
Dude, that's wild. That's weird.
I think he's a champion. I can't find enough good words to put on this man. I apologize to all the victims.
I wouldn't really put good words on him, but
I will. I'll bless him.
God forgive me though, but I will laugh at this because it's kind of funny. Like,
yeah, it is Jeffrey Dahmer.
This never happens.
And then why do all these niggas' names? Everybody who be scamming, their names be funny. Shimon, like. I
don't know. That's kind of dope. I would have kept that. You should have kept that. That's funny.
What?
That's a pickup line too.
Like the Black Lives Matter girl. Her name is Con Colors.
My name's Shimon. Shimon Lee. Just something stupid. Try to make her giggle. Girls love that dumb stuff.
Yeah, or you could pretend to be rich. Yeah.
That's
you know what's crazy? No. Hold on.
That's wild.
Hold on. I have a defense.
Pulled that off.
I have a defense for him. I have a defense. So we're gonna arrest everybody on Instagram?
Ooh.
Where are the police for the Instagram people?
That's a good one.
Because my boy Shimon did time.
Yeah.
Because of his flexing and capping. Now, it's a lot of cappers.
But he actually took money from them.
Shit. I'll do a Fashion Nova post. The Kevin Federline. Another pioneer in the oh my God. These men are the men that people need to pay attention to.
Who is Kevin Federline again?
Britney Spears.
Boom.
Got in, got out. Boom.
Yeah. There you go. Nice. Okay.
His money was cleared before the dad even got there. Oh my God. Genius.
Why
Genius.
Been practicing for years.
Are there any more men we need to put a spotlight on right now? We might as well take this opportunity to find all the great men. Because goddamn, he has a Hollywood agent now. We can't touch him.
What's the like really famous old dude that did this? Casanova, I think was his name.
Yes.
What?
Did any of us think Leonardo DiCaprio in Catch Me If You Can was the bad guy? For real?
No.
Did any of us think Leonardo DiCaprio in Wolf of Wall Street was the bad guy? For real? We wanted to see him, but we wanted to see him win. You didn't?
Well, that's how the movie was played out. But the whole time I was like, "Yo, this guy's an asshole."
Oh, he's an asshole for sure. But his people wanted him to win.
I mean, I understand the people because they depended on him.
Exactly. So we the people. You get me?
No, I don't know. That's a different comparison.
Swindle.
I don't know about that one.
Swindle.
This guy.
Swindle.
It's also another funny thing. Last point I want to bring up, and then let's close it out, which is on some of the
Stedman, another pioneer. That nigga been on Oprah hip for 30 years.
With the names. Eat the
oh my
fucking
God.
nose. This guy.
Hey, shout outs to anybody. Every name you get a shout out. Stedman, Ethan. That was a big one. That was a big one. Whoo, Stedman coming in hot at the end. Okay, I don't think you can top that one.
He's probably going to try. So the point I was trying to get to was some of when they do those street questions, you got those TikToks where guys going around asking girls questions on the streets. And some of them I've seen. I think it's phrased, would you rather a 9-to-5 scammer or a gangster/thug?
Oh, so you're talking about the black TikToks.
I mean.
No, let's be real.
It's not black. Let's
be real.
But I want to say specifically black.
Yeah, let's be real.
Because I've seen some girls. I would associate, this might be wrong with me, I guess.
But they're asking what type of black guy do you want? That question, I'm not bringing race into it. They're asking what type of black guy do you want? If you're saying, do you want
those girls, because I want to say it's black, because some of those girls, they're either
they
Hispanic
like black guys,
or they're white.
But they like black guys.
Exactly.
Okay, so you
I'll give you that one. I'll give you that one.
Yeah.
I'll give you that one.
No, we there on the same page. Keep going. No.
So some of them say
they want
swindler.
Scammers.
Boom.
Swindle.
So why is that something? I want to tie that in. Why is that something that's seen as attractive for a guy?
With most people, however you receive the money is also how you use the money. So I would take it that scammers are probably more loose with their money than a person who's working a 9-to-5 and understands how much work he had to put in to get that money. So
I think it's the same question that like guys ask each other, where it's just like, why would you date a crazy chick?
Yeah.
And you're just like, dude, but she's fucking hot. Or like, dude, like.
That's an interesting comparison.
But the scammer might spend more money on the girl.
That's an interesting comparison.
The girl's thinking about her pockets. She's thinking about gifts.
The guy's thinking about it.
The guy working a 9-to-5.
Because I think that phrase is very applicable. God forgive me, man.
Crazy
pussy is great pussy.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Dude, I bet you they think the same fucking thing. Crazy dick is great dick for all you fucking know, man.
I'm sorry. Like, I've been with some toxic ass girls, crazy ass girls, and man, whoo! God forgive me, bro. I need to shut up.
Let's move the camera from my boy in heat over here. He's still thinking about Sophie Giroux.
What? Who's that?
Hey, end the podcast.
You said a crazy name, probably. You said a crazy name, probably.
Did you look it up?
Put on the side screen, but don't show on the. God,
you just remember?
Who is that? I don't know who that is. Honestly.
Yo. Okay,
right.
cool.
Any last things before we end it? That was a crazy way. That's a crazy thing. Any last opinions?
Oh
thoughts?
Man, hey, swindle, man.
Look, Zach, any last thoughts?
If you can swindle, sign up to Tyndall.
I guess that's all right.
Wait, what? Did you ask me a question?
Yeah, I was like, any last thoughts?
Man, honestly, like, I'm not too mad about it. I feel bad for the girls, but like, yeah, like it's just, I don't know, man. So many guys in history have gotten in. It's just fucking shit's flying back and forth.
He's out here trying to balance the equation.
The yin and the yang. All right, y'all. I think that's enough fake team taking for today. Kind of a little weird ride talking about, Ukraine and then coming down to this swindling, scamming stuff.
Hey, show him, Ian, on the side. Show him.
I don't think he has it pulled up. Show me after the podcast. All right, y'all. If you haven't already, click the subscribe button. Hit that like button. Spam it. Share the podcast. Let everyone know the conversation we have. TikTok, Fake Deep Thinking. Instagram, Fake Deep Thinking. See y'all next time.
We love you, LA!
Peace. Welcome back to FDD. Just a group of friends sitting down talking about the world. Fake Deep Thinking. Leave me alone. We kind of
Dickin'.
John.
So guys, you're
Doc.
Yo, yo. Yo, yo, yo. Yo, what's up? Yo.